Hello there. All right, just getting a little bit situated here. Getting started soon for our live yoga. I'll wait just a little bit. Allow people to jump on. Starting in about a minute or so. So I don't know about any of you guys today, but today is one of those days where I just did not seem to want to get going. And then it was a very, very slow day. So I don't know, maybe it's just me, but hi, if you're just jumping on, let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what you maybe want to work on today. Just say hello. I'm glad you're here. But anyways, today seemed really slow. So I have been contemplating all day of what I wanted to do for today's class. I've been streaming live yoga for about a week now. And every day I've been like, oh, I want to do this. And oh, I want to try that. And oh, this would be kind of fun to do with everyone. So today I was like, I don't know. And it really reminded me sometimes how much we need to just stick with something. And then it just clicks and then it just happens. So today is like, let's not give up. Let's really stick with it. I have some fun things planned and I'll talk you through everything in just a bit. And why don't we go ahead and jump in? Allow yourselves to take a comfortable seat on the mat, allowing your eyes to close. I always like to start our practice with some breath. Hey, Jody, hugs and love. So we'll start with some breath just to allow ourselves to sink into our practice, and then we'll play from there. If you do have any blocks or props or anything like that, go ahead and grab those. They might be useful for today. Since a lot of you are at home, if you do not have these things, no worries. You can always grab like a book or what are those things? VHS tape? Maybe not. Hey, Emily, glad you could make it. Not a VHS tape, that would probably break, but maybe like a chair or a block of some. So little block back here, tick, tick, tick. Helps for balance. So go ahead, sit down. Let's go ahead and get started. Allowing your eyes to fall to a close, hands coming to your knees, palms facing down if you'd like to be nice and grounded today. If you're looking for a little energizing or you feel like you could just receive some goodness today, allow your hands to flip right up and face towards the sky. And begin to notice your breath. As you're breathing in and out, allow yourself to feel how it feels to inhale and exhale. Notice the sound of your breath and anything else that comes up with your breath. Oftentimes as we go through our day, there's so much to do. We don't check in as much as we could to come to the practice of what it is to be breathing and staying present. So allow yourself in this moment to really sink into your mat. Get to know your breath. When we get to know our breath like our friend, our breath and our body start to create trust, and it allows us to open into deeper layers. It allows us to open into our poses a little bit differently. So as you continue to notice your breath, start to become friends with your breath. Allowing yourself to be in just the calmness and this quiet space of your breath. If you happen to have a lot of noise in your external right now, your external world, whether it's physically or literally in your home or your work life or anything like that, allow this space just to be your serenity tonight. Bringing one hand to your belly and one hand to your chest. We're going to begin working into our belly breathing. Our belly breathing, as we inhale, our bottom hand is going to rise out and inflate like a balloon. And as we exhale, our hand is going to fall back towards our spine. Belly drawing in and up. Inhale, our bottom hand rises out. Exhale, hand comes back towards the spine. So allow yourself to breathe this way for a while and notice how this starts to feel, remembering to check in with the different sensations of your breath, just noticing it. If your top hand moves on your chest, allow yourself to work on focusing, bringing the air down into your belly. Breathing into our chest, our shallow breathing is very, very common. So if this is new to you, give yourself some time and some space to practice this one, learn it a little bit, give it some time, allow yourself to unfold with it. If you do not need your hand on your belly as a guide, you may want to replace your hands back on your knees and just sit comfortably. As you're breathing into your belly, begin to elongate your inhales by a count and then elongate your exhales by that same count. So maybe you're breathing in for 3 and then you're exhaling for 3. And as you get comfortable with that, maybe begin inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts. By allowing your breath to become longer on both ends, we're really creating some more space within our body. And as we exhale it all out, as we empty all that air back out, we're really just releasing and letting go of all the stuff that we happen to carry throughout the day, throughout the week, the months and the years, life. So just let it out. Continue to inhale, breathe into your belly. Option to continue elongating your inhales and your exhales, or maybe you want to add in a pause at the top of your inhale, giving yourself just a beat to be in the stillness and the silence. And then as you exhale, emptying all the way back out, give yourself a pause right at the bottom, followed by your inhale once again. Pause, exhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale, pause, inhale, pause, exhale, pause, inhale. Continue this if this is where you'd like to hang out for a few more breaths. Allowing the air to travel all the way down to your root, to your seat. Expand horizontally, expand vertically, taking up as much space on your mat as you can right now. Exhaling it all out. If your hands are not already at your knees, allow your hands to come back to your knees. Return back to your normal breathing. Giving yourself just a few moments here, checking in with yourself. What happened from the time you started practice till right now as you began moving through those different breath exercises? How are you feeling? What sensations are you noticing? What's different about you now when you allow yourself to just breathe and just be? While you're here, also take a moment to reflect on what brings you to your mat this evening. It's one of my favorite questions to ask before any practice. It's just like setting your intention. Why did you come here tonight? Why did you bring yourself to the mat? You could have been anywhere else, and you decided to come here to this space for yourself. So what brings you to your mat today? If I'm being really honest, what brings me to my mat today is all of you guys coming online to meet me right here. So I thank you just as much as I hope you're appreciating being able to have live stream at home. One more thing to contemplate right before we get started moving into our practice. Think about one or more things that you're grateful for today. Along with breath, gratitude is a second favorite practice of mine, just because every time we reconnect back to everything we truly do have, everyone we have in our lives, it just allows us to smile and remember how blessed we are. So let's go ahead and get started with our practice. You can go ahead and blink your eyes open coming into the space if you have not already. We'll begin with a seated warm-up today, moving into our flow. So if you are just joining, if you have any props, feel free to go ahead and grab those really quick. Otherwise, if you don't have them, no worries. We'll go ahead and be able to do modifications in different ways as well. Inhale, let's go ahead. Arms come all the way up, reaching tall. Exhale, we're going to take it to the right side. Our right hand is coming down to our hip. Our left hand is reaching up. As you exhale, allow yourself to reach over to your right side, opening your left shoulder down and back, shining your chest forward here, reaching up and over. You can have a straight elbow, slight bend. Maybe you take your elbow all the way down to the floor and reach here. Key thing is keep both hips rooted right onto the mat. So maybe if you want to come back up a little ways, find the place that's comfortable to you today, knowing that there's nowhere to get to. It's about the journey, not the destination. Allow your body to unfold as your breath guides you there. Become friends with your breath tonight. Inhale back to center, both arms up, reach. Exhale, left hand down, right arm reaches, and over to the left side. Drawing your left shoulder open and back. Adjusting as needed. Breathe deep into your belly, staying connected to that breath we started at the beginning of our practice. We'll use this breath throughout the entire practice. Maybe you reach up and out just a little bit further, seeing where your body goes. If you're comfortable right where you are. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Inhale, back to center. Exhale into a twist. Left hand to your right knee. Right hand behind your hip. Inhale, lengthen through your crown and your spine. As you exhale, look out over your right shoulder. Keeping some softness in your hands and your arms. Twisting from your belly rather than pulling through your arms. As you inhale, see if your spine can grow a little bit taller, and maybe you twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Your inhale brings you back to the center, rising arms all the way tall. Right hand, left knee, left hand behind your hip. Inhale, tall through your spine. Exhale, look out over your left shoulder. As you inhale, find a little bit more length in your spine. Once again, exhale, maybe twist a little deeper here. Inhaling, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Allowing your shoulders to melt down away from your ears. If they've gotten a little too close, just let them melt away. Inhaling, hands all the way back to center, rising up, reaching, sitting up just a little taller. As you exhale, you're going to float your hands all the way down to the floor, out in front of you, allowing your forehead to come as near to the floor as possible, or just look down. We're going to begin to open up the backs of our hips, creating some space in between our vertebrae. As you inhale, see if you can create a little bit more airspace in between your whole entire spine from top to bottom. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, you surrender a little deeper. Maybe your hands walk out just a tiny way. If it feels more comfortable, maybe your elbows take a bend and you rest a little bit, or you can keep your arms straight, whatever's best for your body this evening. Connecting back to your intention, what brings you to your mat tonight. Your inhale, your hands will walk right back to center. Placing your hand right behind your hips, fingertips pointing towards the top of your mat. Draw your shoulders down and back. Lift your chest, shine it forward as high as you can, allowing your chin to come towards the sky if that's comfortable, or maybe you stay in a neutral head position. So really push your shoulders all the way through. Breathing into your belly. Exhale, surrender. Inhale your chin back to your chest, walking your hands forward. Uncrossing our legs, we're going to take the opposite cross. So whatever foot is in back, bring it in the front. Arms all the way up, reach tall, and fold forward. At the top, and then as you exhale, maybe you find that pause at the bottom. It's just another way to practice your breath today during our yoga practice. Breathing into your back body, allow your hips to surrender a little bit more on your exhale. Maybe sinking a little deeper. Inhale, walk your hands right back to center, placing them behind you once again, fingertips towards the top of your mat, drawing your shoulders down and back, lifting your chest, shining it out and forward. Head can stay neutral, or maybe your chin comes to the sky. Allowing your inhale to come all the way down into your belly as it rises. And as you exhale, maybe you shine a little bit higher up towards the sky. Your next inhale, your chin will come back to your chest, walking your hands out in front of your knees, taking it into all fours. Meet me in tabletop. Placing your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hip distance apart. Tops of your feet making contact with the floor. Doing a few rounds of cat and cow. As we inhale, our belly button drops towards the floor as our crown of our head and our tailbone reach towards the sky. And then as you exhale, you're going to push the floor away with your hands, rounding your back, coming into cat, drawing your gaze up towards your belly button. Inhale, take that U shape. Exhale, round like a cat. Allow your breath to guide you through this pose as you warm up your spine, nice and slow, nice and gentle. Maybe take a few breaths in one position before moving on to the next. Maybe you allow yourself to look out back behind your heels, giving yourself a curve in your side body here. Maybe going back and forth, loosening up the joints, creating some fluidity in your body. Maybe taking some hip circles. Check in with your body to see what it needs. 2 more rounds of breath wherever you're at, meeting in tabletop on your second exhale. From here, go ahead and tuck your toes, walk your hands, one hand print forward. Send your hips towards the sky, meeting in downward dog. Root down through all 4 corners of your hands, slight bend in your elbows. Draw your gaze up towards your belly button as your chest melts towards your thighs. Maybe you pedal out your feet. This is your first downward dog of the day. It's definitely mine. Go ahead and loosen up the backs of your hamstrings, warming up the backs of your legs. If stillness is a good place for you, go ahead and do that as well. Remembering to breathe deep into your belly still rises here. Exhale, release. 2 more breaths. Inhale, rise up to your toes, and as you exhale, walk yourself up to the top of your mat, feet in between your hands. Begin to rise yourself all the way up to standing, rolling up 1 vertebra at a time, stacking them on top of each other. Couple shoulder rolls towards the back. Couple towards the front. Coming towards the top of your mat, we'll do a little bit of sun salutation warm up. It's starting to get warm now. Inhale, arms come up. As you exhale, let's go ahead and sit back in our chair. Allow yourself to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands down, set yourself in your high plank, lowering down to the ground. Finding baby cobra. Inhale up. Exhale, tuck your toes, finding downward dog. Inhale, right heel comes towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, bring your right knee up towards your chest, planting your foot, rising up into our warrior 1. On your exhale, float your hands back down around your foot, framing it. Stepping into your high plank once again. Lowering yourself all the way down to the floor. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left heel all the way up. Exhale it in between your hands, planting your foot, rising up, warrior 1, opposite side. Allow your hands to come back down towards the mat. Bringing yourself into your high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, rise all the way up to your toes. Exhale, walk yourself towards the top of the mat. Inhaling to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Planting our right foot down in our front. Our left foot's gonna come not quite as far back as our downward dog, so typically we're a little bit farther out for a downward dog. So go ahead and go about a step in from that. Turn your back foot out, not quite parallel, somewhere between parallel and 45. Front straight leg. Arms out to the side. We're gonna hinge forward at our hip, reaching as far as we can until we just can't go anymore. And then as we exhale, we're gonna allow that hand to meet our shin, maybe the floor. That'd be pretty impressive. Maybe if you have a block, you wanna rest on a block, or that VHS tape I mentioned earlier, that was definitely a joke. Some kind of box or Tupperware or container, maybe a chair if you have a chair, something low, footstool. So while you're here in triangle, you can definitely use your hand as support. I like to let my hand just rest at the side of my leg right here and just hang so that I'm using more of my core. So you can make this as active as you would like. Your top arm is reaching up. And you almost want to think that you are having a wall directly behind you and that you are almost leaning back against it with as much contact point as you can. So if you find yourself rolling forward, see if you can start rolling your left hip up and open, which maybe means you come up out of your triangle a little bit just to have a completely flat back side. And then as your hip and your side start to open, you start bringing your triangle down a little bit closer to the floor. So just some ways that you can breathe into this. And as we're remembering to breathe, our belly rises on our inhale and falls towards our spine on our exhale. In some postures, it's definitely a little bit more challenging to do that kind of breathing. So allow yourself to be challenged in it and notice what you notice. What is your mind saying? From here, inhale back up. Give yourself a little breather. We're gonna move into half moon. If this is a new pose for you, you can definitely, like I said, grab a block. I like to have a block on this one. Maybe you have a chair, something to prop yourself up on. With your right foot down in front, we're going to lift our back foot off of the earth. Our hand is gonna come down towards the block or the floor. And we're still working on keeping our left hip open, kind of like it was in triangle, but our back foot is now floating. You can keep your top hand on your left hip if that helps you to balance a little bit. Maybe your left leg is a little closer to the floor, so if you're balancing from right here, that's really great. Allow yourself to work it up as you get more comfortable. This is definitely a challenging pose. So let's take one more breath. Inhale and exhale, allowing your back foot to float back down to the earth. From here, allow your left hand to come all the way down to the inside of your right arch. Maybe step that back foot out just a little ways. Let's take an extended side angle. So you can reach your arm straight up here, or if you'd like, you can reach it all the way up and over if you'd like a little bit more of that side body stretch, which feels really great. So you can kind of pick where you want to have your arm in this variation. If you have binds in your practice, you can go ahead and wrap your left hand behind you, bringing your right arm up to meet, or maybe your left arm just sits on your back and you kind of practice what this feels like. You're opening up your shoulder, working on reaching your hands to grab right underneath your right thigh. There's so much to play with in yoga. Allow yourself to breathe into it as your body unfolds, becoming friends with your breath. Inhale the top arm back up, straightening your right leg if it's not already there, coming back to your center. Moving into a wide leg forward fold. Wide leg stance, definitely further than hip distance apart. Turning your toes slightly in. Hands on your hips, allow yourself to hinge forward. At your halfway point, I like to bring my arms out to keep my chest lifted. And then as I get to my halfway point, I let my hands meet the floor. Exhale. Couple variations you can do right here. You keep your hands right down in front of you. Maybe you wrap your hands around your ankles, pulling yourself down a little closer to the floor with the crown of your head. You might reach your hands all the way behind you. Maybe you grab opposite elbows and do a little bit of a ragdoll, allowing yourself to sway side to side. Draw the crown of your head as close to the floor as you can. Maybe you have a slight bend in your knees. Go ahead and take your variation with your hands wherever you'd like. And return to your belly breathing. Inhaling into your belly, let it rise. Exhale, belly falls towards your spine. While we hang here, allow your head to let go, shaking it no side to side, so that we really can get some release in our upper spine. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Wherever your hands are on your next inhale, begin to walk them back to center. And from here, go ahead and place your hands on your hips, put a bend in your knees, and allow yourself to rise back up nice and slow. Coming back to standing. Turning ourselves over to our left foot out in front. Moving back into our triangle pose. So bring your back foot in about half of a step, straightening our front leg, back foot, not quite 90, not quite 45, right in the middle there, somewhere comfortable. Reaching our arms out to the side, nice flat back. Let's inhale, hinge forward, reach, 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 reach. Exhale, allow yourself to tip, hand meeting the left shin, either to brace it or to hang out. Rolling your top hip back and open, bringing that shoulder to shine the chest up and out, which maybe means you come out a little ways. If you have a block, you can go ahead and use a block or any kind of prop here. Finding your belly breath once again. Two more inhales. Inhale, bring yourself all the way back to standing, setting up for a half moon on the opposite side. Setting your balance up here, coming onto your left foot, sorry. Bringing your right foot off the floor. Maybe your balance is right here and you just work towards your prop, hanging out. As you're ready, allow yourself to roll your right hip open. Right arm can stay on your hip, or it can reach up and out. Allow yourself to challenge your balance where you can. Giving yourselves a couple more breaths to hang out here. Your next exhale, your foot floats back down to the floor. Taking that nice wide stance. Left hand comes right in front of your left arch. Right arm reaches up for extended side angle. Or if you'd like, you can reach it all the way up and out. If you want a little bit more of your side body stretch on this right side. Whatever you did on the other side, go ahead and do that here, just to keep both sides even. If you did a combination of both, go ahead and work those both in. I know sometimes I do that. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, allow yourself to reach a little further. Two more breaths. Inhale, straighten your front left knee, walking yourself back up to center. Taking one more round of our wide leg forward fold. Turning your toes slightly in. Hands on your hips. Exhale, allow yourself to fold forward. Maybe take a different arm variation this round. Allowing your crown of your head to come as close to the floor as you can. Allow your head to shake no from left to right, really releasing more of your upper spine and your neck. As you breathe into your back body, really expand, create a lot of space. As you exhale, maybe you surrender a little closer to the floor. Give yourself 3 more full inhales, 3 more full exhales, emptying everything out at the bottom of your exhale. Walking your hands back down in front of your face. In transition, we're going to move into our right hand side. Put a bend in your right knee. And we're just going to come right over to the side. So we're just in a half squat here, half a lunge. So you can keep your hands in front of you for balance. I like to bring my hands up into prayer. Go ahead and face your bottom toe up towards the ceiling. If you're really, really leaning forward, see if you can bring your tailbone closer to the earth and still maintain your balance. So maybe your arms come out to help you stay here. Lift through your core. So hold yourself with your core here and press your right elbow into your right leg. That'll give you a little bit more stability and a little bit more support. If your bottom foot isn't entirely on the mat and you're up on your toe a little bit, that's also okay. This is a place where as your body and your breath become friends, you start to loosen and surrender into this posture. And your foot will eventually come down towards the mat if it's what your body is calling for. So wherever you're at is completely fine. So allow your inner leg to open, keeping your toe flexed up towards the ceiling, lifting your chest as much as possible using your core. Remembering to come back now to breathing your belly breath. Let's do 4 more breaths right here. Maybe you add that pause at the top and the bottom of your inhale and your exhale just to see what that feels like in your body. Remembering to find that silence and that quiet space right in between where our breath flips over into the next portion of the inhale or the exhale. As you exhale, allow your hands to come back to the floor, pushing yourself up and moving over to our left-hand side. Take your time. Allow yourself to transition as you need. Setting yourself up here. Our right toes point up towards the sky. Pressing our left elbow into our left knee, lifting up through our core and our chest. Hands in prayer, or maybe out in front for balance, maybe down on the floor for balance, whatever you need. Once you get yourself set, allow that belly breath to return to you if it escaped. Taking 4 more breaths right here. Coming back to our intention of what brings you to your mat tonight. On your last exhale, bring your hands back down to the mat in front of you, allowing yourself to walk your feet in, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, until your feet are about the distance of the mat, the edges of the mat. From here, allow your tailbone to sink back down towards the floor, coming into a squat. Hands can come to prayer. So with this type of squat, couple things. If you would like to sit on a block or a prop as a balance, this becomes more of a resting pose. If your hips aren't as open, you might sit yourself up a little higher just to open your hips up a little bit more. And if your hips are really tight, some people, for them, this is about where you can get. Allow yourself to practice with your breath, opening up your hips and lowering your tailbone down towards the mat. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, and I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but over time, the more you spend opening your hips, you'll start seeing big changes in a small amount of time with consistent practice. And that's true for a lot of yoga poses, honestly. I've learned within my own body and my own journey of yoga that I couldn't always touch my toes, and sometimes I still can't. But when I'm practicing consistently for longer breaths, longer holds, I'm able to get into things a little bit easier than I maybe would have a year ago. So your body will unfold as your breath, and you be learning together how to do that. So allowing yourself to breathe in your hip opener right here. Sink in if you're able. Another thing to notice as you breathe, if you're in a pose that's really challenging, is where does your mind take you? Can you not wait to get out? Do you want to run away? Do you want to quit? Or do you really like to sink in? Do you find relaxation? Do you find surrender? Do you find stillness when you're in your poses? So see kind of where your mind wants to take you, and allow your breath to bring you back to maybe listening to your heartbeat. Allow your breath to bring you back to your intention. Allow your breath to think of one thing you're grateful for with each breath. So sometimes what gets us through challenging moments is always coming back to, well, today I'm grateful for my meal. Today I'm grateful for my family. Today I'm grateful for the sunshine. And you just kind of keep going through this, and it gets you through moment by moment by moment. All right, let's do 2 more inhales, 2 more exhales. Really breathe into your belly wherever you're at. Exhale, let it out. Add an HA verbal sound. Cleanse that breath. Allow yourself to roll right back onto your hips, bringing your knees out in front of you, placing your feet together, hands behind you. Go ahead and windshield wiper your legs side to side. We just did quite a bit of hip and leg work there. Nice work. Letting your knees fall to the floor. Maybe you stay on one side just to really let that sink in. Move to the opposite side if that feels good for you. Shake your legs out if that's good. Your body, your practice. I'm just here to guide. I do want to do a little bit of core work because in yoga that is very important, and little bits consistently makes us really strong in a short amount of time. So you guys are going to love this. Placing your hands behind you, variation number 1. Lifting your knees up to a 90-degree. Balancing right here, keeping your hands on the floor, chest lifted. So you can see right here, I'm really curving my back. I'm kind of crunched in. So shoulders down and back, lift your chest. Variation 2, hands are going to come up and out, ready to receive. Still keeping your chest lifted, working through your lower core. Variation 3, go ahead and straighten your legs out if that's available to you and your hamstrings. If you're not shaking yet, that's okay, you'll get there. Remembering to breathe into your belly. We're going to be here for 5 whole breaths. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. 1 more. Allow your feet to come back to the earth, wrapping your hands around your shins. Give yourself a squeeze. Because yoga is a practice, I would love to practice this with you guys 1 more time, just for fun. Whatever variation you just took, maybe you try a different variation and challenge your edge. Maybe take the same variation and work on smoothing out your inhales and your exhales. Or maybe if you'd like, you can add in a leg raise if you're really feeling like you need a challenge today. So go ahead, inhale. Find yourself in your breath, connecting back to your intention, focusing on what you're grateful for, listening to what your body is communicating to you, and maybe it's, are we done yet? Are we done yet? Are we done yet? Are we done yet? And yes, we almost are. 4 more breaths. Exhale, feet come down to the mat. Wrap your hands around your shins. Give yourself a squeeze. Walk your feet out to the bottom corners of the mat. Hands out in front. Roll your spine down 1 vertebra at a time until everything is completely laid out on the floor. Oh, look, I got a pillow. From here, we're going to bring our heels in towards our sits bones. Feet are going to be hip distance apart. Walk your tailbone in towards your heels so that the tops of your middle finger just graze the back of your heel. So you just want to be able to touch a little bit right here. Palms facing down towards the floor. On our inhale, we're going to rise our hips all the way up towards the ceiling. Finding our bridge pose. Pushing the floor away with your heels. Breathing into our belly, letting it rise. Exhale, belly button falls towards your spine. One more inhale, one more exhale. Exhale, lower your tailbone all the way down to the earth. Taking a couple breaths to rest right here. Maybe walk your feet wide towards the edge of the mat and let your knees knock towards the inside, just resting against each other. Inhale, bring your feet back to hip distance apart, checking in to see if you can graze the back of your heel with your middle finger. Inhale, hips come off of the floor, rising up. If you'd like to go ahead and clasp your hands underneath, walk your shoulder blades underneath your back, and stretch your hands down towards your heels. Again, breathing deep into your belly, letting it rise on the inhale and fall on the exhale. Be here for just a few more breaths. Allow yourself to find that stillness and the surrender. If your hips sunk a little bit, inhale, reach them up a little bit higher. Almost there. 4 more inhales, 4 more exhales. Long, smooth breaths right here. Go. Last inhale. Exhale, unclasp your hands, walk your shoulder blades out, and lower your tailbone back down to the floor. Feet come to the edge of the mat, allowing your knees to meet in the middle. Let your body rest for just a few beats. Allow your next exhale to elongate your legs down to the bottom corners of your mat, letting your heels hang heavy right at the edge. Rolling your legs to side, moving up into your hips, rocking, flipping your palms up, moving into your shoulders, shake it all out. Maybe it feels a little crazy. Get your head in there too, shake side to side, loosen everything up. As you situate here, allow yourself to prepare for our final resting pose, Shavasana. Releasing all of the tension, anything you're holding on to in your feet and your ankles. Moving up into your shins, your knees, your thighs, let go, letting them hang heavy on the mat. As you exhale, sink your hips a little deeper into the earth. It's not a common thing that we want to try to make ourselves weigh more, but allow yourself to feel really heavy right now. Letting your mid-body and your torso surrender and let go. Releasing your hands, your shoulders, your arms. Finding some softness in your neck and your head. Allowing your eyes to fall to a close if they have not already. Connecting to your belly, breathing here. Remembering back to the beginning of your practice, how much did you change in the first 10 minutes when we went from regular breathing into belly breathing? As we just went through an entire yoga practice until right now, who have you become? Allow your tongue to fall away from the roof of your mouth, maybe gently parting your lips, allowing your eyebrows to relax, your cheekbones to melt, and your face to just be still. Inhale and exhale, surrendering just a little deeper into the mat. You'll be in Shavasana for the next few minutes, so allow anything that you have to do fall away from your mind as you just breathe and rest. The sound of my voice will bring you back to close out the remaining portion of our practice. Be still. Begin to deepen your breath back into your belly. Bringing some gentle movements into your toes and your fingertips. Waking the body up slowly. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, taking a full body stretch. And as you exhale, allow yourself to roll to one side or the other, bringing your knees up into your chest, allowing one arm to create a pillow for your head, eyes closed. Take a moment here to integrate your practice into your body. What did you learn about yourself? What did you explore? Which edge did you push? What is your intention for today's practice? As you feel ready, allow yourself to use your one hand to push up into a seated position, leaning back cross-legged on your mat. Hands coming to heart center. Taking a moment to give yourself some gratitude for your practice today. Loving your body, honoring your mind, challenging yourself in your different ways. Allowing your breath to become a friend and a guide. The love and the light in me honors the love and the light in each of you. Namaste, friends. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Take your time coming out of this practice. If you do have to leave, thank you for being here. And if you are going to stay and hang out for a little bit, I do like to open up for a little bit of sharing. If anyone has any comments they would like to add in, go right ahead, but I'll give you a little bit. Tomorrow's class will be right here live streamed on YouTube at 3 p.m. Central. So if that fits into your practice, or if that fits into your day, I'd love to have you for another practice. So feel free to join me. Feel free to invite any friends or family who could use a little bit of yoga in their life. We'll be live streaming every single day this week. And my schedule is posted over on Facebook. But like I said, tomorrow is 3 p.m. Central. Feel free to type over in the comments how you're feeling, what your body said to you today, what your intention was, what you're going to take out into the world with your practice today. I mean, I know we're not going out in the world a ton since a lot of us are kind of stuck at home right now, but it is what it is, and it's only temporary. It will pass. Everything will be okay. Hope everybody's doing okay at home, getting all the projects done, situating things in your life. This too shall pass. All right. Well, with all of that said, I want to let you guys get back to your evening. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will be back here again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central. Bye, friends.